So being a good witness means not placing yourself or others in danger. Remain calm enough to call the police. Some people's instincts are to scare suspects away, chase after them, or confront the suspects after seeing a crime has occurred. It's better not to confront or get involved in a conflict with the suspect. Be a good witness and call the police at 935-3311 or 911 for emergencies. That's important because say a burglary occurred. Now, someone might go after that suspect, get assaulted. Now it's a burglary and an assault. So it's basically, it can even get worse than that. You might get seriously injured because of that. So always be just a good witness for us. We really appreciate it. Being a good witness will give the police the opportunity to apprehend the suspects as quickly as possible. If the crime involves property such as auto theft or a petty theft, ask yourself, should I risk my safety and well-being for a property crime? The answer is no. You may not see the suspect carrying a weapon, but keep in mind that handguns and other weapons are easily concealed. What can I do or expect? If you see a crime in progress, call 911 if possible, and without endangering yourself, continue to monitor any activity in the area. Dispatch will ask a series of questions. Being able to quickly articulate your location will assist the officers in their response. It's important for you to remain calm so you can clearly answer the dispatcher's questions. Listen to the police dispatcher for directions and guidance. They will ask you guys a series of questions. So I know sometimes we might become, elevated and we just start rambling. But they have to ask you guys a series of questions. As soon as they can get those questions answered, they'll relay it to us so we can expedite the officers to you guys' location. Dispatchers are trained to know exactly what information the officers need to respond quickly and safely. This means that a dispatcher may need to interrupt you while you're relaying the information. They don't intend to be rude. It's have to information to us as soon as possible, yeah? Because we need to know what we're coming into, the type of situation. Keep in mind, during emergencies, officers are usually dispatched by a second dispatcher. The faster the dispatcher can obtain the necessary information from you, the faster it's relayed to the officers responding. So, I know you may think that the person you call is the dispatcher that is talking to us, but it's not. There's a call taker in the dispatch center that receives the calls. She gathers the information and sends it to the dispatcher of that area, so the Puna district. The call taker will gather the information, send it over to the Puna dispatcher. Puna dispatcher is who communicates with us. So the faster that the call taker gets that information, she can relay it to the second dispatcher, and then it gets to us. So what can I do? Cameras, surveillance cameras, cell phone cameras, GoPros, digital cameras. Those all can help in recording from a safe distance for us. And then when the officer responds, if you guys can go ahead and provide that information to the officer.
That's a common feature. I'm sorry. Having a camera, a video camera on your phone, it not only acts as something that can capture something happening, but it can also act as a deterrent. I don't know about you, but I would feel uncomfortable if I was in someone's neighborhood and someone's over here with this camera videotaping you or taking your picture. Just a quick story. One of my neighborhood watches, I brought up this they were having problems in their area. I brought up the use of a cell phone and importance. Sorry, the importance of having photo evidence or video evidence. So I was patrolling in this area. Now I'm a police officer, okay? I'm patrolling in this area, and there's this lady standing on the side of the road recording me. Now I don't have that. I don't have a normal bubble on my vehicle, so she didn't recognize it as a police vehicle. Now it made me feel really uncomfortable to where I didn't even want to look at her. I just kept driving. Then I stopped, realized who I was, reversed, and thanked her for doing this. And for our cases, you know, when it gets to the court, I'm sure the prosecutors can contest to this, is that photographs, videos is like gold for our cases. Because how are you going to fight saying that that's not you in this photograph or in this video when everyone else is looking at the same, at you while we're looking at this evidence?
So we stress the 5 W's. Where the crime has taken place, when did it take place, is it still going on, what is happening, and is medical attention needed to anybody there? Who are we looking for, and what do they look like? And importantly, do they have any type of weapons? We need to know what we're coming into when we respond. Yeah.
Okay, so also, sorry, being a witness, the dispatchers, they can't see what you guys are looking at. They don't know where you folks are. You have to articulate this to the dispatchers. They have to articulate it to us. So it may get frustrating if you're talking to a dispatcher and they're like, okay, what's your location? I'm here in the parking lot. Okay, where in the parking lot are you? At a supermarket. Okay, which supermarket? So it's, when things are happening, your mind is going, you know, it's constantly going. So you need to try to slow yourself down. Understand that your information is very important to us. So when reporting a call, when you call to report an active crime or suspicious activity, the type of information that a dispatcher will likely ask you to supply will include the following. It's also important to have your phone charged and not on the red. Okay, suspect's description. They'll ask for sex, approximate age, race, height. Now when it comes to the height, sometimes you may be on a different level or you just can't tell. Like I wouldn't be able to tell John how tall John is in the back, but I'm looking at the exit sign. I can later go and figure out how tall he was compared to where the exit sign is standing. We look for the weight, build, hair color, hairstyle, facial features, clothing description, and any other unusual characteristics or distinguishing features such as tattoos, voice piercings, glasses, backpack, etc. Also, if anything in their hands, whether it be a cell phone, tools, weapons, alcohol, anything. Okay, vehicle description. You may want to familiarize yourself with the makes and models of vehicles. So the more familiar ones here, of course, is Honda, Toyotas, Nissans, Mazdas, Scions. Vehicle style, 4-door, 2-door, SUV, pickup truck, etc. Vehicle plates, if you can. The color, any identifiable marks, such as body damage, rims, spoilers, etc. And occupants, and if so, how many. We're gonna play a game, yay or nay. So this is typically the type of call we get. Suspicious male running out of a house carrying a bag of stuff, last seen driving off in a white car. Yay, nay, nay. Very good. Okay, this is something we would love to see. Suspicious shirtless male wearing black shorts running out of a neighbor's house carrying a black backpack full of stuff in his right hand. Approximately 5'7", chubby built, bald and Filipino looking, tribal tattoos on his left forearm, more tattoos on his right forearm, in his mid-30s, and yelled in a low voice, stop the car, Davey. Witness knows the suspect from high school, and although he's Filipino, he has a Japanese last name. Last seen jumping in the passenger's seat of a white Toyota 4Runner, wearing license plate number CPOs, heading towards the highway. Unable to get a good description of the driver, other than he had a clean and neat haircut and wearing dark shades. Yay? Nay? If we get half of that, that'll be awesome, honestly. Okay, so as community, your calls are very important. A lot of times when we talk to people in our community, they say they don't want to call because they don't want to waste our time or they feel like nothing's going to happen. It's not a waste of our time. Please don't ever think that your call is important. A lot of our crimes get solved because of witnesses and calls from the community. So crimes are frequently solved as a result in a partnership between the community and its police department. The partnership is vital to keeping our community safe and the criminals who look to take advantage of our citizens. Without this vital link between citizens and the police department, crimes may go unreported and solved. The Hawaii Police Department relies on the community to report suspicious activity, crimes in progress, or crimes that have just occurred. There are times when the resident will observe suspicious activity but fail to report it to the police. This often is because, what I just told you guys, they don't want to bother the department or fear of being embarrassed if activity turns out to be nothing. Now, on that note, it's never going to be nothing because at the very least, it's going to bring an officer in your neighborhood, and that's a good thing, you know, having more officers in your neighborhood. And remember, your safety comes first. Don't be afraid to call police department. Crime prevention is everyone's responsibility. With your help, we can keep our community safe. This is something that Judy, right? Yeah, from our Hawaii Paradise Park Neighborhood Watch group. She put this together. This is something that you may want to have by your phones or even have with you or study. So if there ever comes to a time where you need to make a report or you need to quickly jot down something, you have this like a template to go off of. Are there any questions? Okay.
Here, I think, is that we've had a lot of front page stories, right? Like the last one was the kidnapping. Before that was the burned body in a car, and there was a hostage situation. It seems that every week there seems like a violent crime in Puna. So what we want to know is there a rise in crime? And thank you for letting us know about how to be a witness. But after this, we also want to know what we can do to protect ourselves, yeah? But is there a rise in crime or not?
Okay, those incidents that occurred that mentioned, those are isolated incidents. I mean, those occurred, you know, it's not an everyday thing. Those just happen to have occurred. Is there an increase in crime? Our stats-wise in Puna shows that there's a decrease in the crime. Now, these types of crimes that show up, you know, on the news and social media, etc., those just so happen to occur. Those are isolated incidents that have occurred. You know, I cannot touch bases because a lot of those incidents, those crimes are still investigating. So I cannot answer on. Okay,
so we also had a prosecutor that we can ask that question of, and as of 2016, they have actually shown a decrease. But what we want to know is, why are we seeing this all of a sudden? Has there been like a release of these criminals coming in from the mainland that have come settled here in Puna? Is there lag in community programs? Because originally when we first started, we had the Mom Squad. We had the Recover Pahoa program where a number of community activists have come in and cleaned up Pahoa town. I'm sorry that they weren't here for them to get a certificate. But,
right. Well, that refers strictly to Pahoa town. I mean, these incidents that occurred outside of Pahoa town. The situation that happened in Leilani Estates, the hostage situation, that was due to the fact of a domestic that led to that situation between a couple. So you can see how that can lead to, you know, a type of situation like that. It started out as a domestic and then it went larger than that. um, person needed to prove a point. So he took it that way. As far as the crimes, we do put out a newsletter, a police department newsletter, twice every month. If you guys would like a copy, and on that newsletter, it shows the crimes that occurred the 2 months prior, the 2 weeks prior. Sorry. Yeah, the property crimes. If you guys do want to know, be included onto that email list. You guys can approach me on the side. After this, we'll include you onto the mass list and get that out to you guys if you guys always want to stay in the loop of what's occurring in the Puna district. On it, there's the burglaries, where it's occurring, the stolen vehicles, where it's occurring, when it occurred. A lot of those can help you guys in better understanding what exactly is going on. I wouldn't necessarily rely on social media for you guys' information because it can be a positive and a negative. We both know that. So, like I said, if you guys would like that, you guys can come approach us on the site. We can include you guys onto the newsletter to be better, further, have better knowledge into what's actually going on in your guys' district.
We have a few more questions and then we'll go on to our next speaker because like I said, we want to be respectful of everyone's time. So really fast question, the fireworks. Some people are grumbling about it because there are people who have, in some areas it's like a war zone. How can we like enforce at least a time period of that? I mean, do we need like more police or is this a bare, you know?
We could always use more police. More police would be awesome.
Okay, but basically it's one of those community watch things too. If they see anything, they should call it, right?
So he worked.
Yeah, so answering that, I worked on New Year's night. I assisted with those calls. I think that night I went to 30 different fireworks calls. It was just, and like I would talk to one person, while I'm talking to that person, 3 houses down, it's going on. So, you know, I understand it's a celebration. I do understand that. We're welcoming the new year and new changes for everybody, but at the same time, it becomes a safety factor, yeah? So, to answer your question, what we do on our end, we issue them a citation if we do observe it. A lot of the times, they do see us approaching before we gotta actually see them performing the act in order to issue them a citation. But we give them the warning. Like I said, I made contact with 30 different homes that night. I tried to stay active, and a lot of them they stop. But then, like I said, there's people on the street that, you know, they won't report their neighbors and they'll just constant, but it's the ones that do bother them call. So we do address those. We do take that seriously. Unfortunately, you know, they somehow still get them. I don't know how, but you know, we try our best. Just like I said, call it in. There's a lot of upset people because it's upsetting their pets as well. And I can understand that.
Okay, so I'm just going to do 2 more questions, yeah? Related to those front page stories, do you know whether or not there's like a common thread? I mean, were they all drug related, or were all the victims known by the perpetrators that we as innocent people don't need to think about it unless it's like a family member who's upset with us?
As far as drug trends, there's no way of proving because we don't test for drugs on every arrest that we do. So we can't prove that drugs is the main factor of what happened.
Okay, so when we have a prosecutor, we can go ask those questions. But as far as you can tell, were those like, were the victims random people that we as the public need to be concerned about?
Especially on Christmas Day. Was that a random thing?
Like Officer Kamali said, it's still an ongoing investigation, so we cannot really comment.
Yeah, we cannot.
Say any information on.
Okay, so we're all concerned, yeah? Because,
I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
because,
understand that.
yeah, because we don't want to be like when we're walking down the street, be a victim, right?
But like Officer Kamali also stated, it's an isolated incident, so it's not something that's ongoing.
We gotta keep it like this.
No, we get the calls, okay? We might not be able to respond in the time that you guys want us to because this is a very large district. We have a lot of people that live in this district. So there are other calls as well, and it goes by the, it goes by the types of, the seriousness of the calls. So if you calling us for something, but, gunshots was heard coming from a residence, of course the gunshots gonna get the priority call. So we still as officers have to follow up with you. So by all means, just because it takes a while, please, just be patient. We will get there. I mean, with the amount of officers we have, I mean, this is a very hardworking district. I can tell you guys that.
Okay, so geographically, Puna is the size of Oahu with 1/10 the population, yeah? So it's very difficult, especially with our roads, for our officers to be in various places at one time. So we probably do need a bigger police force, so we need to, we thank you for what you have been able to do. Okay? Also, okay, whatever it is you see, report, and then we have neighborhood watch people here who will talk about how that you can help also, because we have a limited police force, right? We gotta be our own eyes and ears to help them out, right?
We really appreciate it. If you guys can, for those that can, if you guys do have a neighborhood watch group in your area, I know Puna has a lot of neighborhood watch groups. If you guys can join them, they have a monthly meeting. You guys can attend that meeting. We're there at those monthly meetings. We go ahead and give the crime stats for your relative subdivision and stuff. Be active in your guys' community. We could really use you guys' help as well. The way I look at it, the police force is only as strong as its community. So, I mean, it's a two-way street here. We're willing to work, definitely.
Okay, thank you very much. I know there's more questions. For those people who didn't have their questions answered, if they stick around, I'm going to be able to give them your questions so you folks can talk outside, okay? But in the meantime, like I said, 4 hours. We got to move on. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.